Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Eating While Broke. I'm your host, Colleen Witt, and today we have very, very special guests. We all know her as Yo-Yo in the building, but today I'm going to take the time to read your bio, just a little bit of it, guys, because I think that whether you're a huge fan or a new fan, I think just to see like all of your accomplishments is kind of nice. So I'm going to go ahead and read it, guys, and I never do this unless the bio is good, okay? Grammy-nominated artist, actress, and philanthropist Dr. Yolanda Yo-Yo Whitaker is host of Aspire TV's Downright Delicious with Yo-Yo, a co-host on the 5-time Gracie Award-winning syndicated Cafe Mocha radio show. You like coffee?
It's just the black girls.
Okay. Just sidebar.
Your mocha.
Okay. No, I'm the same. And founder of the scholarship awarding Yo-Yo's Arts and Academic School of Hip Hop. Her credits include Boys in the Hood, Sister Act 2, Disney Saturdays and Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. She's a 2-time recipient of the President Biden's Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award and holds an honorary doctorate of philosophy in humanitarianism. That's a big.
Yes.
Okay. She is an honorary member of Zeta. I'm gonna butcher this. You can fill in the
Zeta Phi Beta.
That's what I'm talking about. Incorporated.
Woo!
There you go. Now that's a bio. That's work.
That's a bio.
That's work.
That's some years.
So we gotta get you to make this food
and
tell us your life story all the way to all of these accomplishments.
Okay, all right.
That's a lot. You got work. And let me just tell you guys, just a sidebar for all y'all listeners. She's an all white, stunningly beautiful, like crazy beauty. It's insane. But she's gonna get in the kitchen and hopefully not dirty this way. Go ahead. And tell us what you're cooking today.
All right. So this is one of my broke meals. I mean, it's low cost. It's easy to do. This chicken's about $10 from Walmart or Costco's. Bread is really cheap. I like potato bread because it just makes everything is a little expensive. We've done the $2.99 bread too back in the days. And this is just simple. I make it for my kids. I have some cheddar cheese, of course. I have my condiments, some mayo and some yellow mustard. I have some banana peppers and some pickles, which always seems to be in the refrigerator.
Perfect.
When you have nothing else. You can always have these.
Perfect. And so is this like a rotisserie chicken sandwich?
This is a rotisserie chicken sandwich. It stretches out. It's considered dinner when we had nothing.
It's gonna be breakfast today.
It's breakfast today. It's breakfast today.
And this is affordable. So this whole meal is like $20, and it could feed definitely a family of 4 to 6.
Easy.
And if you get the Costco chicken, shout out to Costco, it's like $5, and their chickens are on steroids. It's like 3 chickens in one.
Right.
Okay. Oh, and there's gloves for you. I try to look out
for
you.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes on the show, people be cooking, and then they go and touch their hair. Luckily, Yo-Yo's hair is up.
Right.
All right. So while you get into this chicken sandwich making life.
Right, this rotisserie chicken.
Where's the originator of this chicken and meal story begin? Like, is this like something you grew up doing when you were a kid, or?
As a kid, we would make fried bologna sandwiches.
Oh, I've had those before. I've had those too many times. Thank you for choosing differently.
We would make fried bologna sandwiches, but this is just a meal I would make for my kids once I became a parent. And really racing in, trying to be on a budget, kids not understanding because mama's famous. You know, mama's famous. And so we had to make do. And when I needed to cut back, I would just make it simple. A nice salad, a nice chicken salad, a nice rotisserie chicken sandwich.
I did you wrong. I gave you a butter knife.
It's all right. Mama can do everything. I'm a mama.
And let me tell you something. I have so much respect, man. She's like, I'm not complaining about
I'm a
this
mama.
Butter knife.
Mama
I
can
love
do
that
it
you're
all.
slicing it. I thought you were going to go up in there and go like this and shred it. I didn't know.
Mama can do it all.
So, you know what's cool about this dish? It doesn't even look like a budget dish. So I'm sure when your kids ate it, they loved it.
I asked my daughter, I said, what's one budget dish we made? She said, we were on a budget.
Great job.
Of course we
Did you laugh at her when she said that?
I did. I did. She said, well, we used to eat dinner for breakfast. I mean, we used to eat breakfast for dinner.
Okay.
And I used to say, okay. And we did. You know, when there was nothing in there and mama couldn't go in there and spend $300 in the market.
You had hard times.
I say, you want some pancakes and eggs?
Yeah.
You know, that pancake box is sitting there for...
Let me tell you something.
For forever,
One
right?
day my daughter came home real hungry after a theme park and she said, I want pancakes. I said, say less. That's the easiest meal. With that box of pancake mix, you just add the water. It's over.
Yeah. Oh, God. And I would put... That's how I started just... experimenting with cooking. I would put a little orange juice in my mix and a little sour cream and a little sugar. And
so if we start when you had your family, you already at this point, I would imagine, had a huge career in all of this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sit over here.
I'll make it in transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I making this dish as children. Yeah, I have two daughters. One's 31, one's 22. And my career was in transition in my early 30s. I only had one kid, which was Tiffany at that time, who really saw the transition happening.
Can you talk about it?
My daughter was about 6. I mean, the industry was just switching out. It was changing. Out was... Yo-Yo, Salt and Pepper, MC Light, more into the Little Kims, Foxy Browns. I mean, the whole music industry was shifting. Yeah.
And then what were your thoughts at that time? Were you thinking like, I'm going to keep fighting? Oh, I pulled all the labels. I love that you thought ahead though. Sorry.
It's all good.
I pulled, what do you call it? Pulled all the things so it wouldn't be hard for you.
That's what you call it, those things. That's what we call it, the tabs.
I'm sorry. I love that you.
Do you like a lot of?
I love a lot of wet.
Okay.
Then like, I know that came out funny, but you know, I don't like a dry sandwich. Right. Nobody likes a dry sandwich.
Right.
And I'm just happy
you like
mayo. I'm gonna do it however you do it. Because if this sandwich ends up being bomb, I promise you, my daughter is gonna be introduced to this sandwich. Okay, so take me back. So you're going through the transition of the industry. Switching out, what's going through your mind? Are you thinking like, I'm going to keep fighting, or are you going to try and like start to pivot?
You know what? I had to make a decision. I had to really switch over from being yo-yo. At first I was really trying to dig in. You know, I wrote, I got a sweet kitty cat, no whiskers, want to make it purr, kiss. You know, I tried that. I was like, I just didn't feel right with me. And was begging him not to put that stuff out. Like, please, you know. But I did try to switch over my flow. You know, I was like, hey, you want sexy? I can be sexy.
Yeah.
You want sexy?
Yeah.
I'm sexy.
Yeah.
You know, it just wasn't me.
Yeah.
It just wasn't me. So I was just thinking, like, what could I do? You know,
that should have been that's a lot of pressure too, because you're saying like that wasn't you, and then you're trying to
be something I wasn't.
Let me tell you something. I could totally relate, because every once in a while I'll be like, I could be that sexy person. I'm like, no, that's not me. I 100% can relate to that.
Yeah. I mean, and I did do it and wanted to switch over. I mean, from the days of just being this artist that, you know, West Coast had this certain look. I didn't want that look. I really, you know, I wanted my feminine side. I mean, coming out of high school, and, you know, it was all about the kicks. It was all about the belt. It was all about the jeans, you know, and a cute little t-shirt with a V-neck. You know what I mean? A nice chain, and the way you rocked your hair. So it was your hair, it was your belt, it was your shoes and your jeans that pretty much made the girl. And so hip hop just transformed that into more of a hard, edgy look that I wasn't always accustomed to. But coming from the camp of Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob, it just fit the scene of that. So I did a lot of that more than I did anything else. So it in a way, the woman in me wanted to have more femininity, and then the artist in me wanted to be respected. So it was finding that happy medium that I couldn't do anyway. So in that transition, when they were coming out, it was me trying to find the happy medium. And there goes Lauren Hill. Damn, Lauren. Lauren Cassidy, she said every damn thing I wanted to say. Shit, why did I think of that? Can we curse on here?
No, let me tell you something.
You said no cursing on here.
No, you can.
Oh, okay. Damn,
Lauren,
why didn't I think of that?
Lauren came out. But you want to know something? Lauren also had a rough period too, because she had her babies, and I think at that time they weren't embracing. I can't believe that's my phone doing that. I know better. Women, I just think just in the industry overall just had it a tough bit until now. Like now we're in an age where I think women have more freedom instead of like stuck in what do you call it, like a pigeonhole, or hey, the format for all women is this direction, and now I feel like it's starting to accept different directions. Would you say?
In which direction are you talking about? Like
there was the era where women had to be sexy or talk about sex or be.
Lauren found that she found a pocket where she can get in, and I felt like it was authentic. I didn't feel like it was it. Every artist, when I got into hip hop, I felt like I was pigeonholed a little bit because it was, you can't do this, you can't do that. They were, are you really a gangster? Are you like, no, I'm not really a damn gangster. Like, how could a gangster become an artist? I was just thinking it was an art form. And once I got into the industry, there was a whole bunch of, when they said, the boss was really not this hardcore girl. She was really this type of person. And, judging people, those who was talking about gang banging, who really wasn't a gang banger, or I'm just saying from the West Coast. Course, yeah. So to me, it started feeling like, oh, wait, is that what they're really looking for? Because, I wrote Bonnie and Clyde, but I'm not a gangster. I'm an artist. I've been an artist since I was a young girl. So it was more so of us trying to figure out where to get it. Now, when Lauren Hill came in, I felt like she was living in her truth. She was able to find that happy medium, which is something that brings success. Yeah. Because every artist wants to become their authentic self when you're showcasing your talent to the world. And when she came out, just you're just too good to be true, lick two shops. It's been 3 weeks since you've been looking for your friend, and the one you let hit it and never called you again. That's every girl's freaking song. You're like, damn, that's me.
So relatable.
Why didn't I think about that? So I think I think she really hit the nail on the head when it came to.
But do you think at that time it was like the labels restricting, like, hey, this is the image we want to sell?
The labels didn't know.
They didn't know.
They didn't know what they wanted.
But they even though they didn't know, were they dictating?
They had men behind men who, especially on the East Coast had it their way. Yeah. East Coast wanted it their way. And that's why when Cube came out and was able to get his own production company, Street Knowledge Production, it was easy for us because Cube was East Coast representatives, such as Sylvia Rohn and Atlantic Records at that time, Warner Music, respected him as a man. Okay, we don't know West Coast hip hop, but you're from MWA, you helped create this, you've written for them, we respect what you're doing. Came in with Public Enemy, Public Enemy had their thing, they were highly respected. So it was an easy thing to do. I wouldn't say so much labels. Mind you, I'm 17, just kissed 18 years old. Baby bop. Right. And we had regional reps repping us. So we weren't really in the forefront. I mean, really, I consider myself as a major baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A major baby, as in like with the labels and
stuff.
Yes. Wait, are we forgetting stuff?
No.
Wait, yeah, we are.
What you want?
Those things.
Pickles?
And the banana things.
The bananas? I put them on the side.
Oh, you put them on the side?
I do.
Let me try. All right, I'm going to do it your way. No, I'm doing it your way.
I know. I'm going to put yours over here.
Why would you put it on the side? I thought you put it in it.
No, I don't.
Your face is so funny. You so serious. You like, I definitely don't do that.
No, I put it on the side. This is an easy sandwich. This is an easy sandwich.
I was going to...
This is an easy sandwich.
She said she even put the potato chips on the side too, guys.
I know. All right,
Okay.
where's your plate?
Right here. Feed me, mama. Mama yo-yo. Okay, now
Mama yo-yo.
Now I get to live the way your kids lived.
Right.
Not knowing that we was struggling. So okay, so after your chapter with hip hop, what was your next pivot where you were like, oh, what was that transitional pivot where you had to say, okay, let me transition?
After my next, say it one more time. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. One more time.
That's the same as me. Oh, sorry. Look at me. I'm just taking over.
Okay.
There we go.
You want more pickles?
Heck yeah.
All right, well, pickles.
you know what? I'm gonna hook up half my sandwich and make you try it because I'm gonna make it so.
I know. This is how I would make it for the kids because
Oh, kids be picky.
Yeah.
Kids be like, I don't want that.
Right. I don't want that. This is what we.
I hate that about kids. They pick apart a whole sandwich. You put in all that work, and they pick it all apart for the one piece that they like.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Now, I've never had these on a sandwich, that I've made, so you're going to introduce me. What is that?
Now, I would put a little salt and pepper. If I had some salt and pepper, I would put some salt and pepper.
Okay.
Some salt and pepper on there. I would put some salt and pepper.
Oh, you got to throw some chips on the side. So, guys, I'm going to try it Yo-Yo's way, and then I'm going to make it my way. I just want to experience the experience first. All right, perfect. And then, ooh, it smells good. Oh, those are bell peppers. We eating. Okay. Yes, all right. Yo-Yo's done made her rotisserie chicken sandwich. Right. I'm going to try it Yo-Yo's original way before I put the ingredients in.
Right.
This is the way the kids had it, okay?
The kids can put whatever they want in it.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to try the original. This is if you don't have the peppers and the pickles. Here we go.
Right.
My goodness.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Put a little more mayonnaise.
You know what it is, too? The rotisserie chicken's so soft.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even include the skin, too?
No. I leave the skin off.
Really? Oh, yeah. Guys, just so you know, I'm like a fat kid, so leave all the good stuff on. All right. So I'm going to pile it with the peppers, the pickles. Are you eating the peppers plain?
Mm-hmm. And I like jalapeno peppers.
Here, let me try it.
These are not hot.
No, these aren't hot at all.
I wanted the green hot ones. It's okay, though.
Oh, really? They come in different colors?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like a jalapeno pepper.
Oh.
Just sliced and it's pickled.
Oh, it's pickled.
Mm-hmm.
Were these supposed to be pickled, too?
No, these are the jalapenos are the green ones, the dark green.
Oh.
These are banana peppers.
Oh, okay. Let's try it with all the stuff. Put a bone.
Mm-hmm.
That what happened.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens sometimes. Not
This
bad.
is a great sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Not bad, right?
This is restaurant great.
Yeah. Restaurant
great.
great.
It's great. When you go to a restaurant, this is the same quality.
Mm-hmm. That's a $15 sandwich right there. $12 somewhere else. Right.
Okay.
Not bad. One more bite.
I know, right? I'm gonna let you chew. This is great.
Not bad.
I don't know if it's the pickles or the peppers, but these things in this sandwich. Oh.
And then the rest of the chicken, put it in a bowl and make like a chicken salad.
All right. I'm gonna try not to eat. Try and clear my mouth so I could finish hearing your story about your pivotal transition, because you have a huge resume right now.
Yes. 35 years. Long time.
Long time. All right. Now let's get into the tea. Okay. So after your last big hit, you start thinking pivot. What's going on?
After my last big hit, I felt like I wasn't confident. I felt like I needed to build my confidence up. I felt like every time I felt like I was getting into a trap that I wanted to go back to find hip hop. And I was trying to get away from hip hop because it was changing. I didn't have the relationships. Once I left the record company, it was hard to get those in contact with the people. And then I realized I didn't have my own connections. I didn't make my own connections. all of the people who represented me had my connections. So I'd have to call someone to get to someone else.
Wow.
So I was the middle person in my business. I was the last to get paid, even though the check came in my name. On the road, I would pay everyone and I would be the last one to get paid. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then when it came down for me to pivot, to transition, I realized, dag, I'd have to still call people to get my business for me.
Yeah. Like you basically started from ground zero, even though you had this huge resume.
Even though
you had a huge Rolodex.
I felt like I still had to call people for my business. I mean,
were you uncomfortable doing that?
I was, because I felt like calling people was allowing, and me making the calls was me. It was me.
That's me.
Oh.
I never had this phone ever.
I felt like, I felt like it was me having to show my hand. You know, I had to show my hand. It was me calling people saying I needed them, or using relationships I didn't, or people I didn't really deal with anymore, building up the courage to say, hey, this is Yo-Yo. Would you happen to have so-and-so's information for me? I'd like to call them. Then I have to tell them my business, tell them what I'm doing to reach someone else. So I was just like, but I did build up the courage. Before I was like, I need an assistant. I didn't have an assistant. I was starting from scratch. So it was like, who can I get to be my assistant? You know, in a time where I'm trying to rebuild my life, who can I get to represent me? Then I would call, I would say, hey, this is Larissa.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You hear that? No, I was going to say, I think every entrepreneur, like, it sounds like you're crossing over to entrepreneurship where you're like, you know what? I gotta get this job done. But yeah, the aliases, I can't tell you how many names I go by.
And listen, and what stopped me was someone was like, is this Yo-Yo? I was like,
cough, let me call you back.
I was like, it is. I was like, you caught me. I was like, aw.
Oh, well, you know what? If they knew your voice, hopefully, then they really, you
Girl,
know.
and I was trying to change my voice.
I'll tell you what I do. The secret go-to, guys, is that I have aliases, but I never got on the phone because I'm always afraid that's going to happen. So I always do email. Because back then, you guys didn't have that huge email era where everything was emailed.
Well, no, email was the thing.
Email was?
The thing. Yeah, I got a lot of work done with the email. In that time, when I was trying to figure out my way, I went back to school. I said, okay, I'll go back to school. To work on my associate's degree in liberal arts, because I came out of school at 12th grade and went straight into the industry. So I felt like I lacked confidence in a lot of areas. And then I was getting roles. I was getting guest starring role, Key Lolo with Martin on The Martin Show. I was getting Boys in the Hood, Minister Society, Sister Act 2, Straps, Who's the Man, Jamie Foxx Show, The Moesha Show, all these different shows. But I wanted something. I was like, maybe I should go and I'll audition for every show that you see out there. That you see on television or seen in a movie where Black girls were in. I had the opportunity to audition and wasn't getting the roles. They were saying I was green. So I said, okay, because I never went to...
What does that mean?
Not good.
Okay.
Neat work. And so I auditioned. I moved to New Jersey. I auditioned for Lee Strasberg, which is one of the best acting schools there is, and it was taking me away from my comfort zone where the expectation for me to be Yo-Yo was in LA for me. New York, I felt no one knew me. I could, kind of put myself away, get myself together. I went to school at Bergen College in New Jersey, and I would take the train or drive into New York. I auditioned. I got in $1,400 a month to train myself for acting.
I was gonna say though, you're very young. What are your parents and everybody saying when you're doing all these movies?
This is at 30. I was kissing 30. This is 29.
But that's still very
30.
young to move states. Jeez.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and you didn't have your daughter yet, right?
I had one daughter. You moved
with her while pursuing this.
Yep.
Oh,
I moved. Yeah, very gangster.
I'm sure there was a couple tears in there.
Yeah, you know what? I was just ready for it. I mean, I think the fear was I had never done anything for myself since I was 17.
Oh, okay.
I always had a camp that did everything for me, which handicapped me.
But then you're leaving to pursue your dreams, but also you have the child, which complicates things, right?
No, I had a nanny, Vilma.
Okay.
A nanny had been with me my entire career. She's helped me with my child. She's passed away now. But Velma was like a mother to me.
Okay,
and
but she moved with you said?
She moved with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what are you living on at this point? Like the money from the roles that you booked prior?
I leased my home. I bought a house in Mid-Wilshire district, and Waylon Jennings, just the good old boys. His son Shooter rented out my house. So Shooter was paying me a nice fee. Well, Waylon Jennings, I would get a FedEx check. My kid's father was in New Jersey.
Okay. So
yeah.
But you're also, it sounds like you were pretty good with money from young though.
I bought my first house at 24.
Yo.
Yes.
People can't sleep. People can't sleep. Okay,
yes, I bought my first house at 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you bought your first house at 24.
I bought my first house at 24.
That house helps you.
That
house probably helped you a lot. It was the best decision.
Waylon Jennings, renting that house to Waylon Jennings. His son Shooter is a big country singer now. They lived in there, built a Shooter. Yes, Shooter.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So,
but do you ever look back and go, "What are your best purchase decisions? Is that house?" Do you ever think that to yourself?
Yes, that real estate was my best investment.
Okay.
Yeah. Real estate was my best investment.
But you were making moves. I just want you guys to hear this. Like you started extremely young, but to say, okay, not only that, but I wasn't blowing the money, but I bought a home. I don't know. Did anyone direct you to buy a home?
I had a business manager and my accountant. My accountant helped me buy the home. Okay. And set it up for me. And I wasn't ready to put $50,000 down on a home. And he said, I think it's best that you do it. You have to build your credit. So I leased the house for a year, and then I put $50,000, and the remaining money that I paid with that year went towards my down payment. Yeah, and in 2002, I bought my first home.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just graduating high school. Okay. So wait, so now, so you moved to New Jersey. You're doing something for you. I'm super proud of you.
Yeah.
You get it, girl.
Yeah.
So you finished school.
I finished school. I'm in acting class. I went to school. School helped me build my confidence. I was thinking I was going to go into education or something like that. Of course, I always thought I was going to be in politics at some point in my life. So I felt like I lacked education in that area. So that helped build my confidence. I struggled with writing. People didn't know. Even though I was a artist and penned my own stuff along with Ice Cube and other artists that he brought in to help create the vision for my album. I was a writer, but I had trouble writing essays. I had trouble really, I was very insecure with my writing. So going back to school just helped me that. I focused a lot on English. The acting, I went to learn how to act and realized how pretentious I was in life. And so all of these things that it just mean like how like I was just being something I wasn't.
Okay, got it.
Living up to standards that really wasn't how I was accustomed to being. And it just, all of these things that I did to work on myself really just helped me build my confidence as the woman that I was going to be in the future. I didn't know that then. But all of the things that I've done has helped me in some shape or form. Went to school, learned how to act. Went to school to build my confidence, thinking I was just better in my education. It built my confidence. Went to school to learn how to act. And it really helped me center myself, live within my truth, learn out how, get real with myself. And that,
it's funny that acting taught you that. Isn't that kind of irony?
It really is, girl, because it was like, we did this whole crying thing. They was like, let me see you cry. So, you would cry. Let me see you cry.
Yeah.
Let me see you cry.
Think about
Let me see you cry.
I'm not an actress.
I know, but just let me see you cry.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna
I
happen.
know, right?
Yeah.
But see, that's what I was. I would just like, going to this whole thing. And he's like, yeah, but if you're going to cry, you have to really cry. And that one thing stuck with me. And I teach that to the kids today. If you're going to do something, you have to really do it. And it just reminded me of how fake I really was. Because people don't really tell you when they know you're not really doing the work to its full potential. And I really wasn't doing everything to its full potential, if that makes sense. Although I was a hard worker, I just wasn't really pushing myself. I was just thinking I was getting by. Wow. And I think, people believed my shit, and really, I'm not sure if they did or not, but.
It's funny you say that because I took all the interviews from Eating While Broke and I said, what do all of our guests so to be on this show, you have to be self-made. You have to be self-made, obviously come from nothing. But anyways, I took all the interviews, and they said the cornerstone of everyone, the thing that made everyone great on the show was radical honesty.
Yeah.
You could get alone with yourself and be as painfully, brutally honest. That is the beginning of growth.
It really is.
And so I'm guessing that acting school did that for you.
It really did. It really did. It gave it, and going back to school to work on my education really gave me the confidence to go back home and said, you know what? I'm not kissing anybody's ass to give me any beats, because you have to kiss ass to get beats. You have to sit in the studio for 4 or 5 hours with no one getting any work done. I just called up some of my old friends. Sierra's beat was out, my goodies. And I called Payback Sands, who worked with Cube, E40, all the guys. And Payback was really cool. I said, Payback, can you give me the instrumental to this beat? And I want to rap on it. So I went in the studio and I wrote a rap. My goodies, my goodies, my goodies, not my goodies. When I like spending that paper to get the hair done. Sex be amazing. You blazing sun, and when you walk, it be dragging. I'm bragging. See, I'm understanding why them little heifers mad at me. Yo, who, yo, far from a hoe. Man by the mo, my God could buy the roll to go to blow the cheese. We overseas. If we messing with them keys, we jetting on jet skis on the real. So I did a whole thing to that, called all of the radio personalities, got all of their emails, represented myself as Larissa. Okay. Hello, Larissa.
Hilarious.
Represented myself as Larissa and was like, hey, listen, I'm Larissa. You remember the rapper Yo-Yo used to work with Ice Cube? She has a Goodies remix. The Goodies remix, let me just tell you, the faith of God and the faith of pushing forward and believing in yourself and moving with great intention for yourself. Girl, I was performing with Yin Yang Twins with that damn song.
Wow. And let me just tell you something.
On tour.
You can rap that all day.
I'll
be in my car like this. Yeah.
On tour. Do you hear me?
Wow.
It was playing on the radio. I was getting people to play the song on the radio. People said,
and you were the one pushing it.
People thought Sierra gave me permission to do it. I couldn't get paid from it.
Yeah.
But all I wanted to do was get back out there. From it? I did the game.
But even though you wrote the lyrics, you couldn't get paid from it?
No, when you do a remix, it's someone else's, and it was an unauthorized remix, and normally when you do remixes, you get the record company pays you up front for the remix, because sometimes remixes, Yeah, but it was okay. Remix, but it was okay. It was a way for me to get myself. Did
exactly what it needed to do.
And it started me connecting myself back to people, because they was like, yo. And that's why I take care. I do not give my blessings away. If I'm the blessing, I introduce myself. Who should we talk to? You can talk to me. And and some people think that's selfish of me, but I learned when I was younger that when things got bad for me, I had to kiss everybody's ass to get somebody's number.
Yep.
Even if I needed a photo of Tupac. Oh, I'm doing an interview about Yo-Yo and Tupac. Oh, can we get a photo with you? Oh, let me call somebody. They have all the photos. Give me back. Like, I had to kiss ass to get pictures of me. Like, damn.
I was going to say also, though, I noticed that people with a large team, like, I have a rule, like, I don't take no from anyone that doesn't have the ability to say yes. But a lot of times you'll have people of a certain size and they have a team, and their team low-key gatekeeps. Well, and on opportunities that they would say yes to, they're like, wait.
Listen.
I didn't know you said no. I would have definitely done that. Listen, and that happens a lot.
And that's why I understand when they say Martha Stewart is a bitch and she's on top of her business, because you learn in this industry, especially as a woman, you have to be a bitch. So, quote unquote, if that's what you call it, bossing up, if that's what you call it, I'm in control of my business. Not my man, not my friends, not my mother, not my father, not anyone who works around me or works with me. Do you understand? I'm in control of my business, and I make that my business. I treat my business as if it was my baby. I'm not handing my baby to anybody, and you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do with my baby. Nope. If I say, give me back my baby, I don't care if you babysit for 6 hours, give me back my baby.
Yep. And tell me what exactly happened while you was watching my baby.
Exactly. I mean, and that's how you have to treat it.
I tell people this all the time. When you have a business, that business is a baby, especially, and I said this before on another podcast, is like your first year of having a business, that baby's an infant.
That's right.
Your ears and your eyes and everything needs to be protected in that infancy stage.
In the same way you don't give your baby away or allow someone to say, I'll raise your child for you. You can't do it. And a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more educated.
Yeah.
I know more, and I can help you go
Yeah.
further. I'm going to raise my own child, honey, and I'll learn my own mistakes.
Yeah.
You
And
I'll
really learn them, by the way.
And then I'll write the book on how to do it next time. I'll leave notes on the wall so you can follow what not to do if you need me to do that. But I need to walk this walk. And see, the problem I think I had was being spoiled and being a label baby. I thought a lot of people think this, everybody's going to give it to you. You know, you don't have to really do anything. They're going to do it, waiting on something to happen. You have to make that stuff happen.
Yeah. Nothing's
Nothing's coming to you. You have to make it. And I didn't have the confidence because I had the fame before I built my confidence.
Yeah.
And
But
I didn't know how because people sheltered me. And I think that was probably like an industry thing.
Well, also, you were very young.
I know, but still, that was the best time to learn. I mean, people know me. I mean, we walk in a place and they'll see him and say, oh, come on. It's like, I got Yo-Yo, it's like, oh, hey, Yo-Yo, how are you? And it's like, oh, come on, hustle me. And I make it a point now. How you doing? Oh, I got the information. No, I want your information. Yo, you can't give you. This is my business phone. I'm sorry. I don't know. This is not a girlfriend and boyfriend phone. This is not just a hotline. Yeah. This is a business line. I use my phone as my business. I can redirect you. I'm very good at saying no or let me get someone to help you do that. I'm very good at handling my business. But I had to stop this middle action. I wanted to get straight to the, from hand to consumer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Smart. Because now you're controlling the ship, though. You're controlling the direction, the pivots, the everything.
And that's what pivoted me to a different direction. It started my elevation. That's what started my elevation. I started taking control where everyone was saying, once they heard the song, oh, my goodies, I did the remix of Games, and I started touring. People were like, oh, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. And me not giving myself away again allowed me to really start building a foundation where my beginning was quicksand.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I can see that. I can 100% see that.
Definitely. No foundation is there. I mean, you see a lot of people fall through those cracks every day, no matter how talented they are. Do you understand? You go, what happened to so-and-so? They were so good.
I also think the industry is one of those industries where you think everyone's your friend, right? And then the second your deal is done and your part at the table is done, it's like almost like everyone doesn't mess with you anymore. It's literally, I could work at Kmart or Target or at McDonald's. I promise you, I will walk away with more friends. It's so weird. Yeah. In a shorter amount of time of working there a year than I would working 10 years in the industry. I don't know what it is about that industry that you don't really. You may out of 20 people, you may walk away with one. Yeah, isn't that weird?
I mean, I've made some great friends in the industry. My public relation rep from Atlantic, Ann Christoph, is still my friend to this day. Okay, she and I still communicate. Billy Johnson Jr. I mean, there's a lot of people
from the day one, 17.
From day one, I'm still close with Sylvia Rohn. And some of the reps that worked with Atlantic Records. But I think that there's a code of ethics. Management comes in, like you say, and gatekeep. And some artists and I teach that to my children at the School of Hip Hop, you're the gift. No one's doing you a favor. And I have to teach them that because I'm saying what I wanted someone to say to me. No one's doing you a favor. Yeah. You are the talent. Yeah. Don't forget that. Yeah. Do you understand? Because people think I'm doing you a favor. Really? Then you understand you have a right, you have a say so, and so many people get into this thing where they don't want you to talk to the artist. This is my art, and that's that gatekeeping. Yeah. And it starts young, and when you see artists grow, Taylor Swift, love her for it.
Taylor Swift is a beast.
Oh my Jesus! Me tell you something. I love it. I love to see it. Let me tell you
something. Nothing that inspires you more than reading Taylor Swift slap people back. But
I love it.
But I still have a little bit more to cover with you. So after your touring and everything, what's the next pivot?
The next pivot, touring, getting back out there. I was thinking, okay, I can't do this forever because still, like I said, like the book, what is it? The Alchemist. I felt like young Santiago. I was still going back to chase a dream that I knew I had no solid foundation.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I need to reread that book. I never could
Oh God! Oh, I'm Young Santiago. I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna reread it just so I could. Okay, you're Young Santiago. Okay.
Yes, and a German student at Lee Strasberg gave me the book at the end of our session. We were all departing, and I was the only Black girl in the class, and of course, faking my way through the whole process. Mm-hmm. That's why I realized how fake I was until my professor said, "One day you're gonna do the work, and you're gonna really be good." and I was like, I am doing the work. Yeah. I am doing the work. Yeah. He doesn't know I'm not going home taking cold showers and recreating the scene. I'm doing it in the class, but when I went home, I wasn't. Okay, so the next pivot was I realized that that wasn't a great foundation for me. What could I do? So I was just in search, like, what does an artist do? Like, what else can I do? You know? So I did radio in the beginning in like 94. I was doing radio with Power 106. And I was like, maybe I'll do radio and I'll go back in radio.
And by the way, I heard in radio, I had another radio DJ on here that they don't pay the women DJs as much.
Oh, I was getting paid $70,000.
Oh, okay.
A month. I mean,
Yo-Yo's debunking stuff.
Yeah, no, I was getting paid, and then I was doing side gigs.
Okay.
But I worked from the bottom up. Mm-hmm. K-Day was just coming back, mm-hmm. and so Carlos, we call him Los. I got in touch with him. I did my research. I went and researched. I mean, everything along my journey was intentional. Mm-hmm. I was showing up for me. I got out of that yo-yo stage. I got out of people saying, "Oh, you're yo-yo. You shouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're yo-yo. Let me do it for you." I was very intentional on being grounded and moving with purpose. I got in touch with Carlos. They started doing it early. I mean, really wasn't a lot. I would go in, do mornings whenever they needed me. Mm-hmm. I would make myself available. Small money then. Mm-hmm. K-Day got picked up.
Okay.
I started making money. Steve Harvey came on. I was mm-hmm. doing mornings. I mean, and I used to ask God at that time because I was praying. I was just asking God, please help me. God, please help me. God, help me. God, help me. You know, and my kids, you know, didn't know I was going through anything.
When you were asking God to help you with what at that time, though? Because it sounded like everything was going good, no?
God, I didn't have anything solid.
Okay.
I didn't have anything solid, mm-hmm. although I was still in I moved back home mm-hmm. after I finished school.
Mm-hmm. Home to your home or
back
to
California.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Waylon Jennings died.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what year that mm-hmm. was. And I was coming back home. Mm-hmm. And Shooter and them moved. My neighbors wanted them to anyway. They built the skate ramp in the back.
Mm-hmm. Nice job, Shooter.
I know, right. So I moved back home and I was up in limbo. My mortgage was over $3,100. Mm-hmm. I was thinking, you know, what can I do? Yeah. I know I can't, with the money I have, there's no way that I can pay $3,100. I wasn't bringing in $3,100 with a child, with a nanny, with responsibilities and my bills and all of the things that I had.
And then you had a second child at this point?
No, I did not have a second child at that point.
Okay.
But what I did was I sold my house.
Oh, okay.
I sold my house in, I think, 2009, 2008.
That was a difficult decision, or?
A very difficult decision.
Yeah.
But at that time, I cleaned up about $250,000.
Yeah.
I bought a condo in Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. And education
very good pivot. Just so you know, very good pivot.
Education was big for me. My daughters was going to private school. And so it was taking that private money away. Yeah. My daughter was in Page Elementary, right off of Fairfax. It took her out of me paying that fee to Beverly Hills have a great school district. I didn't have to pay. Mm-hmm. My daughter played Beverly Hills all the way up to her senior year, which was a great, you know, and then, but through that time, I just hustled and worked and made my money stay. And, you know, there was times where funds would dip low and I'm like, don't ask for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and still trying to figure it out. What am I doing? I mean, you know, television was good. Radio was good for me for a good while.
Yes, and it's only a couple hours a day, I would imagine.
Yeah, but I would work whatever. I mean, I had mornings. Kid and I had mornings. Then they put me in mornings with someone else, and I ran mornings until they got the station all the way up float. I mean, and had a decent contract.
Nice. And then I just want to get yourself all the way up to.
And they put me back. That helped me put back on the map because the world knew Yo-Yo at that point.
Oh, that's
the world knew Yo-Yo at that point. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's me this time. Sorry.
So, but yeah, and on top of this is probably boosting your Rolodex even more working in radio.
It really did.
Because everyone touches radio.
Working in radio gave me the idea to do my school of hip hop. Because parents at that time, it was still early, 2011, 2010, parents were saying, Yo-Yo, because I was doing a lot of work and I had my IBWC, the Intelligent Black Women's Coalition for the young girls, the mentoring program. But parents was like, how can we get my kids into making beats? Or where can I get my kid to do, it was write raps, learn how to write raps. And can somebody help them? And I was like, wow, there's no place but Debbie Allen and the other dance academy that's here in Los Angeles that does that. I'm like,
oh, there's a lane. There's a lane. There's an opportunity. Okay. So then you started it.
2011, I created the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop.
Wow.
And we had, it was a summer program. We had a list of over 200 kids. We could only take 100 kids. Jeez. And the city of California, Congresswoman Waters and other teams helped me put this up so that it could be a free program.
Wow.
For the city. For the city.
So was it a nonprofit?
I have the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop Arts and Academics program.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm only watching your time. Trust me, I don't want you to leave Yo-Yo.
Go ahead.
I just want to get to Aspire TV before.
Yes.
As our
Yes.
Especially since you're cooking for me.
I know. Yes.
Okay. So after the academy, then where does the Aspire TV come in?
Aspire TV. Well, the pandemic happened. Mm-hmm. The pandemic. I've been cooking my whole career. Mm-hmm. My friend Sajai, she's part of the team, was showing me pictures in 2013. She was like, look, you were plating food then and cooking, and you remember you made this. And everybody always has a story. Even on tour, I had my own tour bus. I would cook for Too Short and Digital Underground and Public Enemy.
They was like, Yo-Yo, what's up with that?
They would give me the money and I would cook on my tour bus and I would feed them. So cooking has always been in my blood. I had a limited selection of what I could cook. Mm-hmm. And during the pandemic, I just started working on my stretch. There was nothing to do. I was in perfume school. I was taking school to make my own perfume. Okay. And during the pandemic, and I was cooking online and, every day. And I got a call from one of my good friends who would help me with my daughter in Jersey when she was in school in New Jersey. And Rochelle Brown. Mm-hmm. And we have a common friend. And she said, can you send me some of those dishes you make? Girl, I was like, what dishes? I was calling Sajai. I'm like, can y'all send me dishes? Okay. Send me dishes. And after, she's like, so we had a long conversation, went in the studio. I was in New Orleans. I'll never forget. Can you get a studio and put together something? I just need you to say this and do this and let me work my magic. You really cook. I didn't know you really cooked. I'm like, yeah, I really cook. But during the pandemic, see how God was preparing me because I was stretching myself. Now,
I was going to ask about this stretching because you keep saying I was stretching and this time I was stretching. What does that look like?
Stretching myself means just showing up.
Okay.
Not feeling good in an industry where you're famous and you want to look a certain way. I didn't look a certain way. I didn't have the designer clothes. I just had, I was pulling out my old Gucci's from, I was pulling out old stuff, putting pieces, things together, but just showing up for myself, making myself available, letting people know that I was still out here, that I still existed, that I didn't die, and that the industry didn't kill me. And that's one thing I realized that they, didn't want me to make it. They hoping you float back.
Yeah. I don't think that's possible for you, Yo-Yo, though.
Well, listen.
Because you fight hard. And your pivot game's pretty impressive.
Oh, my God. Listen, I trust God.
She likes Steph Curry on the court. Steph Curry on the court right here.
Yes. And I am a gangster in it. Mm-hmm. I am definitely a gangster. I do well. People do well by me. Doors open. I show up. I'm not afraid of trying new things. I don't get in different lanes that I don't belong in, but I just trust God. And I trust God, and I move with intention. I move with purpose, and me serving the community has opened up doors that would have never allowed me to open up had I not gave more of myself.
Yeah.
And that's what winning really is.
I love that.
Giving more of yourself. So yeah, Downright Delicious, where I'm whipping in that kitchen and everything.
Downright Delicious. And then is there any
finger-licking.
other place people can keep up with everything Yo-Yo?
Everything Yo-Yo is on Yo-Yo Fearless, all social media platforms. Downright Delicious is on every Thursday.
And it's second season, right?
It's third season. Second or third season.
Okay.
It's going so fast.
Okay.
Can you believe it? And we're at the top.
Really in the kitchen.
And we're really in the kitchen. Yes. And we're doing good on the show.
Of course.
And you
I
get
wouldn't
to see
expect
my
anything
lover.
less.
And you get to see my lover on the show.
Okay.
And I'm cooking for him. I'm not in this tone.
You're not what?
I'm not in this tone when I'm cooking for him.
Oh, why? What kind of tone are you be?
I know. I watched the show, girl. I was just, I was like, do what you.
He like, yeah, let's go to work today, babe. Let's go. I like his tone. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And you guys can keep up with Yo-Yo Delicious.
Downright Delicious.
Downright Delicious.
Downright Delicious.
And
Yo-Yo.
if y'all over at your house struggling and want a good meal, this rotisserie chicken dish is to die for. It is definitely worth devouring. The only reason why you didn't see us eating is because we was talking.
Yes. And you know what? You can make it like a chicken salad too. You can make a chicken salad. If you have onions, you can put some onions on it, cut up some celery, all that good stuff. Make it like a chicken salad. Throw it on that bread also and chow down. And
then definitely keep the banana
peppers or the jalapeno peppers. Jalapeno pickle peppers are better because I like a little spice. I'm coqueta.
Well, you could have got the pepper jack cheese or the jalapeno cheese.
Yeah, my dude loves pepper jack cheese. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, on his sandwiches.
I
know, but the kids like the cheddar. I just made it like I make it for the babies.
Look, you did perfect. Your story was superb. Mwah, chef's kiss. Very inspiring. Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out.
Peace.
Now we get to finally eat.